This is my second gen 2009 Kawasaki KLR, and I'm going to show you how to install the Dirtracks crash bars on it, because I haven't seen a good video, so hopefully I can make a good one. Let's get started. Alright, here's what it looks like before. All of the back plastics and the seat are off because I'm putting in a new battery. Let's get the box opened up. Alright, let's go ahead and take out the bars. Free stickers. Alright, the first step is going to be removing your skid plate. I've got 4 10mm bolts holding mine on, but I do not have a factory skid plate. This is aftermarket. Had it when I bought it. Those bolts are caked in mud. I like to get a piece of cardboard, cut little holes in it, put a little X on it so you can keep your bolts and you can label them what size they were and where they came from. Because I would probably forget in like 2 seconds, so I'm going to do that. Front and rear skid plate bolts, both 10mm. Now we got to remove the right hand subframe bolt, which is right there. Alright, let's get these 2 bolts out front. Right here and right there. It's one. Alright, they gave us new hardware. Alright, we're going to take our right side bar, and those bolts that we just removed, we're going to hold this right side crash bar up to those bolts and slide them through, but do not tighten it. Alright, that's one. Alright, we got both of the bolts through. Probably the shiniest thing that'll ever be attached to this KLR. That'll kind of stay in place. Up next, we're going to take that medium length bolt. It's 35mm, and we're going to reconnect it to the subframe here. It's a 13mm socket. Not going to crank it down yet. Alright, we're on the left side of the bike now. This is our subframe bolt right there. And so we're going to attach the front crash bar up there after we take out this bolt. Alright, let's get this 12mm subframe bolt out. Alright, we're going to put this front crash bar through up here. It should line up front, and this subframe bolt back here should line up too. We're going to put those washers and nuts back on there. Sometimes it would be nice if I had any friends, but I don't. That's one. And that's 2. Alright, we got the front 2 bolts all lined up. Now we got to put the subframe bolt back on. It's starting to look like it's coming together. Now we've just got to connect it at the front. We've got the 2 shortest bolts, and we're just going to connect it here up at the front, not tightening anything. Got all of our bolts on, but they're still loose, so all we got to do is tighten them up and put the skid plate back on. Oh yeah. Alright, that's all the bolts tight. Alright, everything's all tightened up, so we just got to put the skid plate back on. The website said it works with all skid plates, aftermarket and original, and I couldn't get mine to fit, so I either didn't know how to do it, or it doesn't work with every single skid plate. So I went to Menards, bought every type of bolt that I think might work, and hopefully this will work. My skid plate was attached to the front part of the frame, and then there's not space for the crash bars and the skid plate mount to go on there. I bought this 2-inch U-bolt here, and it fits perfectly around the frame, so I just had to buy this, and it should fit together nicely. The bolt that I bought, the U-bolt, is too much of a diameter to fit through the skid plate, so those are big enough now. Look at that precision engineering. I might cut those down a little bit later, but